Hi, I'm Karen Rayburn. I'm the owner and founder of PF, and we're a marketing agency that works exclusively and only with accountants. And I have with me today Chad from David Oase. And Chad is a Realize member who also joined the Accelerator coaching group, which we run for accountants who are involved in their own marketing or wanting to be involved in their marketing, thinking about marketing. And we're just going to talk to Chad about why he joined that and what he gets out of it and how it helps his firm. So, Chad, what motivated you to say, I'm going to join this, I'm going to do this?
You know, we heard some rave reviews with some folks that were in Realize already. And really, it was David who pulled the trigger on joining the PF Accelerator. And I'm not going to lie, I was pretty frustrated that he joined when we joined because it was right in the middle of kind of the extension season, right? But we showed up for the first meeting and was like, holy cow, of course we need to be doing this right now. This is so incredibly important. And just the first session. So and sitting down and taking notes, the amount of data and the amount of things that we needed to change just from the very first session was life-changing.
Oh, that is amazing. So I got two follow-up questions already. One is, thank you so much for the honesty about how you feel, because a lot of what we talk about in marketing is how your buyer feels. So actually, I think it's a great testimonial to say, I started out frustrated. I started out like, I'm not sure about this. What was it, other than the deadlines, I'm so busy, and accountants do that all the time with marketing. Was there anything else that was just like, in addition to not being busy, this is just not the time, or what was it?
No, it was really just the deadlines, having everything that we had to do, and then we've got this additional project going on. We were already in the process of working on all of our marketing, but then taking classes on the marketing while we were trying to develop content. It's like, wow, there's this extra thing here.
Yeah.
But again, just life-changing.
What was there anything that stood out to you? You said session one, just straight away, straight out of the gate. Was there anything that struck you? I'm sure there was a lot, but was there anything that struck you like this is a new way of looking at marketing?
Yeah, so it became very clear that we weren't targeting anybody, that we were using a scattershot approach. And a lot of the things that you said initially were why I'm inundated with calls right now. And none of them are qualified leads. So I'm spending an awful lot of time having conversations with people who I'm not going to bring into the firm as a client. We weren't communicating in our voice. We didn't know what that voice was. We weren't representing who we were in the firm, just on and on and on, and all of those things.
That's so great. It's not great that you weren't at that place, but it's great that you recognized it. Did you have even the smallest kind of win or victory throughout the group?
Oh, we've had huge wins. So we have made some really great changes to the website. We have some waiting lists that are getting ready to go up for some of the services that we're offering. We've hired PF to do a rebrand for us that we're very excited about, that we've just started, but we're really, really excited about. We've had huge ones.
Yeah, and I love that. And we always say that the wins come from you and how you apply it. And that's just in the 8 weeks. We haven't even gotten to the brand project yet. So tell me just very quickly about what motivated you whilst you're in the middle of Accelerator. You're going, do you know what? I think maybe brand. Mm-hmm. What was it that caused you to say, now is the time?
So with Dave is going to be retiring in the next 5 to 6 years. His name is the name of the firm currently, and that's not going to work as he phases his way out. That's huge. We've been talking about changing the name for the firm for a number of years, and we have bounced hundreds of ideas off of one another and haven't been able to come up with anything that we felt great about. But really the big question, the thing that finally did it, the icing on the cake, was hearing the timeline from you. And you said, it's going to take me 3 to 6 months to be able to get this done. And I asked David, I said, do we have time to spend 3 to 6 months on this and we're not experts? And he said, no. I said, how quickly do you want to wrap this out? How quickly do you want to roll this out? I said, then we need to hire Karen, because this is the only way that we're going to get this done correctly the first time and have effective marketing.
Which I'm going to guess gave you a little insight into how your buyers feel.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because they don't know, on our website what they're getting into. They don't know what our values are, except for the About Us page that you did in a great Gap review. We've got a great, About Us page, but our services are very generically written and they sound like any other accounting firm.
which is going to change. And that's the other beauty about marketing, is that it just keeps changing and keeps getting better. So my final question is, if you're talking to a Realize member watching this who's like, listen, I too am super busy. It's tax season. It's about to be tax season. I have this deadline. I know I need to do marketing, but maybe I'll do it later. What would you say to them?
I would say that, even at the deadline, this has been such an eye-opening and life-changing experience to work with PF Accelerator and Karen Rayburn. The direction that we're heading now is so much more clear and defined, and I am so much more encouraged and hopeful about our prospects in marketing than I was 8 weeks ago.
Brilliant. Thanks, Chad.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks.